Olsen with the 1-2. In the air to left center field. This one's going to get down, and the Longhorns are going to walk off with the winner.
Have you ever had your jersey taken off on the baseball field?
No, I mean in high school I had
Tonight.
Reynolds yelled in the locker room and said, "Does anybody want this shirt? It has good luck in it."
There you go. Perfect.
And no one took it, and I was like, well, heck, I'll take it. It has a cat on it with some glasses. I guess it came good luck.
Will you wear it again tomorrow?
Oh, of course.
Uh-oh.
There we go. On a cool and windy late Saturday afternoon in Austin, welcome everyone to UFCU Disch-Falk Field. Today, game number 2 of a 3-game series. The Longhorns taking on the Xavier Musketeers. Hi again, everyone. Hope your Saturday's off to a great start alongside Longhorn legend Keith Moreland. I'm Steve Lennox. Duke Ellis, the hero last night in a hard-fought 12-inning victory in the series opener.
Yeah, you're right. Duke Ellis off to a great start at the beginning of the year. The last 6 or 8 ball games had been struggling. Strikeouts were up, but he came through last night late in the game in the 10th. Texas down 1. He comes up with a big base hit. They tried to move it back inside. That tied the game up in the 10th. Then we go to the 12th. A 2-2 count. Tried to slip one away from him with a breaking ball. Stayed in the middle of the plate. Opposite field. They call it a single, but it's a 2-run double to me to win the ball game. At that point of the game, he's been outstanding to this point. The Musketeers, they looked like a team last night where you could look at them and go, wow, they were shocked at what happened. They had the lead in the 10th and the lead in the 12th, couldn't hold it.
11th comeback win of the season for David Pierce and the Longhorns. Billy O'Connor, he gave a great scouting report on his Musketeers. They pitched well last night, and they also defended.
They did, and when you look at it, Connor Gramis is that guy in the middle right there. He can do so many different things. He can hit the ball at the ballpark, and you're going to face Blair Henley. And Henley, boy, he's had an outstanding junior campaign. One bad outing in his campaign. He's got excellent command to this point. He's been consistently good all season. He's got to attack the zone. This wind is blowing in at a gale. Great day to pitch.
Leadoff hitter Chris Given in the air, short right field. Tate Shaw long run, sliding. Feet first, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 down. And Shaw, who we've seen a lot at first base, gets a start in right field with Austin Todd. Not in the starting lineup for the Longhorns. And 1 pitch, 1 down.
Well, I'll tell you what, that showed us a whole lot right there. Every one of the teammates, when they got through, Ford and Burleson at first base, both looked at each other and said, everything's going to go to that foul line because it is, as we mentioned, whipping in right off the center field batter's eye, and it's going to push the ball to right.
Ryan Altenberger at the plate, 1 for 3 and an RBI. And last night's extra inning loss for the Musketeers, who enter at 9 wins, 16 losses on the season. He's quickly down in the count, 0-2 on Blair Henley, who is making his 7th start of the season for the Longhorns. Longhorns have 4 victories in his previous 6 starts. Blair right back to work.
Well, he had struggles in his first outing at Louisiana with his command. He was behind, couldn't put people away, and then got a little better the next start since then. He's done an outstanding job of just keep attacking. That's a fair ball.
Down the left field line, Kennedy in foul territory will pick it up, fire back in. Altenberger makes it in safely, and he's at second with a 1-out double here in the visiting first inning.
There's a happy difference between 0-2 and attacking the zone and getting too much of the zone. That pitch got too much of the plate when he was ahead in the count. Gives up the extra base hit with 1 out.
And this is where Xavier really struggled last night. Their only base hit with runners in scoring position, the 2-run infield base hit by Jake Shepsky in the 12th inning. They were 0 for 10 before that 2-run base hit, provided them with a 2-run cushion that they could not keep. And the Longhorns' final at bat, Billy O'Connor in his 2nd season as the head coach of the Musketeers out of the Big East. Here's Connor Gramis. 31 hits on the season, 4 homers for Gramis. We'll see on the mound in the start in the series finale on Sunday.
It's a good athlete, good two-way player, can do a lot of different things. And watching him take BP yesterday, ball jumps off his bat. Tough day to try to hit a ball out of the ballpark today.
0 for 5 last night, snapping a mini 6-game hit streak. Looks at a strike from Blair Henley.
Well, they see the numbers right there. It's hard to win a game, and they were right on the verge twice of winning the game. But you leave that many runners on base, It's tough to come away with a victory.
1-1 to Gramis, down and in. Blair Henley last Saturday gave up 1 run over 6 innings in what turned out to be a 13-1 victory in the middle game of the 3-game series at TCU. Was back home in the Fort Worth area. Arlington Heights High School. Off the chest protector, runner will take off. Altenberger makes it in ahead of the tag of Ryan Reynolds.
You got to anticipate this as a runner, and the first thing you do when you see the ball off, you see him right there, didn't hesitate, made that quick decision, because if he hesitates at all, McCann got on it in a hurry, would have got him. Infield will play back here in a 3-1 count.
And the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes on Gramis. Roger Claycomb calling the balls and strikes. Will Thornhill, the first base umpire. Darren Steers, the second base umpire. Jerry Johnson is the umpire at third. Sharply hit off the mound right to the second baseman Ford. On to first base. Gramis picks up the RBI. Xavier up 1-0. Double wild pitch. RBI ground out. Musketeers in front.
Well, that's just productive baseball, and got to get Gramis a lot of credit. Worked the count to a full count. Got a ball out over the plate. Hit it right on the button. There's sometimes as a hitter you go, you got to be kidding me, because he thought that ball was ticking it up the middle.
Aubrey Major back in the lineup this week, returned after missing time with a hamstring injury. Young man with a world of talent, now a sophomore for the Musketeers, and Blair Henley falls behind in the count 2-0.
Just getting better and better and better as a player. Experience. What a frame.
Third base side, Reynolds in foul territory. This one back up into the seats past the third base dugout. Wind blowing across, opposite direction than what we had last night, blowing in across from left to right and almost in from center field. A little bit different than during batting practice. This one stroked into center field, and Major aboard with a 2-out single, second hit of the inning. And he's a base runner for Jack Hausinger, who will come to the plate.
Well, stayed back through the box. The last 2 guys have done a nice job against Henley. But you're still, you give up 1. There's no gifts so far in the inning.
Texas pitchers last night combining for 14 strikeouts. Second time this year they've compiled 14 strikeouts against the opposing team. Blair Henley went 6 scoreless, left with a 2-0 lead, ended up with a no decision. Hausinger, no home runs on the season, 12 runs batted in.
Major stole a big bag last night, late in the ball game. So he's a threat to run, even though he's recovering from a little bit of a sore hamstring.
Hausinger a week ago Friday, 4-hit game, was on base 5 times, 4 hits and a walk against Evansville.
Great location with that breaking ball that time. Only one way you can hit that, and that's pull it foul, and he actually pulled it off of his foot. You got a lot of options here. You can climb the ladder with the fastball or come right back with that breaking ball. It's also a pitch you would think that you could run on here, 1 and 2. Going to the changeup.
Runner does not go. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Actually foul tipped it into the glove of McCann, and the inning is over. Xavier up 1-0 as we go to the home first inning. It'll be Ellis, Kennedy, and Reynolds due up against Griffin Lanou.
And with great deal.
We go to the bottom of the first. The Musketeers jump out to a 1-0 lead. Third-year head coach David Pierce's lineup looks like this, but for me, the change of Austin Todd getting a day off today against a tough right-hander, and Ryan Reynolds, who's done a really nice job. The switch-hitting third baseman moves up. He's got 10 multiple-hit gains this season. He moves up to that third spot in the order. He had a big base hit last night early in that ball game, but this lineup. And the other part of it is Burleson, obviously, and they're going to face a right-hander, Griffin Lanou. Lanou comes in. on the year, making his 6th appearance, his 5th start, 2-1 record, 6.25. He's got to pitch to contact because if he can throw enough strikes, that's been his biggest problem. 13 walks in 18 innings. He's got an exceptional slider, but he's got to be effective with that. To do that, he's got to get ahead in the count to get to that slider. And he comes on here. He's been staked to a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 1st.
Young man from Rosemount, Minnesota, will tie that into the Longhorns as Duke Ellis squares around and takes ball 1. Talk with Phil Haig, pitching coach for the Longhorns, who hails from Minnesota, prior to the game, and said, you know what, this is the perfect weather for a guy like Lanu, who probably didn't pitch until June, when it might have reached into the 70s in Minnesota.
Well, it'd be a stretch today to get to the 70s, I can tell you. Somebody opened the gate in North Texas, because it's blowing this direction and it's bringing some cool air with it.
Duke Ellis will be followed by Eric Kennedy and Ryan Reynolds, who Keith touched on. On the ground towards second, Altenberger throws out Ellis, who is retired. Well, that good luck shirt, he's going with it again today. Ryan Reynolds gave Duke Ellis the T-shirt that no one else in the clubhouse wanted.
Well, you know, sometimes that shirt, you can see it right there. Cat with some big glasses on it. Quick story real quick in my career. We had a shirt that we passed around in Chicago an awful lot, and the only way you could wear it is be 0 for 15 before you put it on. But I didn't see a guy that didn't put it on that didn't get a hit that day.
1 out, base is empty. Eric Kennedy, little dribbler. Lanu takes care of it. Kennedy retired quickly. 2 ground ball outs. So was that in your locker at Wrigley on occasion?
Yeah, it was. I tell you, we all went to a concert. We were invited. There was about 10 of us that went backstage, met Huey Lewis and the News. That's giving away some times. You know, back with some good music in that days, and he gave me a shirt, and so we cut the sleeves off of it, much like what we saw with the shirt that Duke Ellis was wearing, and it became that shirt, Slump Buster.
Ryan Reynolds swings through the first offering from Griffin Lanu, down in the count 0-1. Ryan at 282.
And you could wear it, and I'm sure that if Duke doesn't have a good day today, you put it back up, and then it becomes somebody else's lucky shirt. Of course, it was cleaned every day, so don't make it sound like the guys were wearing a dirty shirt. It was laundered.
I'd imagine baseball players being
superstitious
and quirky. Yes, superstitious. Reynolds had to be asked at least once after the celebration last night, where did you get that, and do you think I could get one too?
Yeah, but a lot of times it's out of the blue. You throw it on one day and say, you know, try something different.
Ryan trying to get something going here with 2 outs. Longhorns down 1-0 in the home first inning. Hits one sharply right to the second baseman. Altenberger takes it at the belt, and nothing showing for the Longhorns. They go in order. We go to the second. 1-0 Musketeers.
The Eyes Baseball on Longhorn Network is brought to you by Toyota. Save big at Toyota's Ready, Set, Go sales event. Visit buyatoyota.com.
Top of the second inning at the Dish. Xavier up 1-0 on the Longhorns, trying to even up this series at a game apiece after losing last night in 12 innings. Jake Shepsky starts things off. Steve Lennox, Keith Moreland with you on this late Saturday afternoon, early Saturday evening. Our partner, Greg Swindell, will be back with us tomorrow celebrating as he's being inducted into the Texas State Hall of Fame in Waco, Texas tonight. He's going to be there with friends and family. And he'll be back with us tomorrow.
Texas Sports Hall of Famer. Well deserved.
Shepsky had 3 hits, 3 RBIs last night. Hits one up the middle and into center field. Third hit already given up by Blair Henley, and the leadoff man aboard for the first time in this game for the Musketeers, and the 4th hit of the series.
Command has been so good, but that's the second hit of the 3 hits he's given up when he's been ahead 0-2. And Steve, it goes back to command. When Blair Henley's well, you bounce that ball, you don't give him a chance, you get it off the barrel. That stayed up, able to get the barrel on it. Good start to the inning for the Musketeers.
Matt Workington stands in, 4 home runs, 12 runs driven in on the season. And takes a fastball strike.
And then when you're 0-2 in that particular moment, you want to bounce this breaking ball. It gets out in front, whereas it's right down Broadway. You can see his reaction. You can see his body motion when he released the ball. That's when you want to reach back and grab it and try to catch it before it gets to home plate.
1 ball, 1 strike count. Workington from Ontario, Canada, began his college career on the West Coast with the San Francisco Dons. Henley with a long pause. Good pitch there. Good downward movement and ahead 1-2. Workington opened up the season. Xavier opened up against North Carolina, a top 10 team throughout the course of 2019 early on. He went 0 for 10 with 8 strikeouts against the Tar Heels. Came back next series against Samford. Went 7 for 12 with 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in. Had 2 home runs in the series opener.
Good location with that pitch. He tried to get it down low. Now he can come back to the breaking ball. The outer half. Longhorns at double play depth in the infield.
Ford at second, Hibbler at short. Pitch towards the middle. Stays alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 starts ago, Henley went up against Texas Tech and Caleb Killian, a guy who played summer ball with when he was a youngster, and both pitched very well in that ball game that was won by Texas Tech. Longhorns came back and took the series finale and won 2 out of 3 in the series. Shepsky does have 1 stolen base on the season. Xavier, a team that will run. 22 stolen bases on the year in 32 tries. To right field, Shaw with a long run, angling over into the corner, and he runs out of room.
Also runs out of gate. Knocked the gate open. He hit the fence pretty hard. It's
got to learn to
padded.
slow up.
But
who's still almost at full speed. The warning track is there to give you an idea where you want to.
yeah, but this everything going to right is really going to fade to the line. And thought he had a shot at it. It just blew out of play.
Needs to pump the brakes a little bit. Pitch to Workington, just off the corner, and the count full, 3-2.
Well, you got a chance for a strike him out, throw him out. Runner will be in motion here, more than likely trying to stay out of the double play. Henley is fairly quick to the plate. I like a breaking ball right here. Went with the fastball and runner not moving. Was trying to steal 2-2, didn't steal on the 2-2 pitch that was called the ball, and then 3-2 was not running.
Shepsky, leadoff single, back to the bag at first. Sam Bertelsen today getting the start at first base, with Austin Todd out of the lineup and Shaw moving to right. You said prior to the game you've liked what you've seen defensively out of Bertelsen so far this season.
Oh, he's a really good defensive player.
9th pitch at the at-bat. To right field, Tate Shaw. Looking up into the high sky, makes the catch. Workington retired. Henley wins that long battle. And that's the first out here in the top of the 2nd.
Now 3-2 pitches, the last one a breaking ball, and just had him enough out in front. And he had got it off the end of the bat.
So runner at first, 1 down. And Luke Stevenson, his first at bat and first start of the series. He is behind the plate. Stevenson has 5 hits on the season and 28 at bats. A double and a triple, or a double and a home run, and 3 runs batted in. All 5 hits coming in one game back on March 16th against Grand Canyon. That was a game that we alluded to last night where both teams were running to the bat rack. Breaking ball away.
Well, there's days when you come to the ballpark, you can almost, the conditions dictate, ooh, today's going to be a good day to hit. And yesterday was a good day to hit here at the Dish. And today is a pitcher's day, no doubt.
Fastball up. Blair Henley falls behind 2-0.
Good hit and run count.
Henley with a toss over.
Blair already with 39 pitches in the ball game. 1 out in the second.
Behind 2 balls and a strike, and misses away. Had a long battle and finally retired Workington after going 3-2. Inside ball 4, Stevenson aboard, and that puts runners at first and second. Is he battling himself a little bit as we take a look at Phil Haig?
He hadn't been able to put any people away. Other than Stevenson there, he's been ahead most of the time. Just hadn't been able to put him away to this point. And that time he fell behind and never could get back into the count. And you got a lefty and a righty do here. All of a sudden, the pitch count's getting up. Danger.
Andrew Sexton at the plate. 2 hits in his last 25 at bats. Late on that first fastball, and he's down in the count 0-1. Sexton 0 for 2, removed for a pinch hitter in last night's 12-inning loss.
Well, Sexton from the left side runs really well. He's tough to double up. Longhorns looking for a double play ball.
Young man playing his college baseball right in his hometown of Cincinnati. Shows bunt, looks at a strike. And Henley, the ball goes past him out towards the base runner at second. May have actually hit off Shepsky as Hibbler picks it up off the turf. Ramis RBI ground down the first, giving Xavier a 1-0 lead. Pulled on the ground towards first, foul.
Good note for young fielders. Don't try to umpire. Go catch the ball. And that's exactly what Burleson did. He went and got it, and he was ready to go to the bag. And so many times you say that's foul, and you don't finish the play. Go ahead and finish it and let them make the decision where it was fair or foul.
You've got your job to do. Umpire has his job to do. Little roller. Henley will go to third. They get the force out on the lead runner, Shepsky. You don't see that often. So runners again at first and second, now 2 away in the inning, and Henley has an opportunity as Sexton reaches on a fielder's choice to strand a pair here. Helps his own cause.
Well, I've done an awful lot of baseball scorebooks. I don't put many 1-5s in my book. Force outs. I think Henley knew he was not going to get a double play on the ball.
Towards short, Hibbler circles around it, fires on to first base to retire Gibbon, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, 2 left on, middle of the second, 1-0 Xavier. Xavier 1, Texas 0. Bottom of the second. Longhorns winning in 12 in the series opener Friday night. Duke Ellis, RBI base hit in the 10th to tie it up, and then 2-run base hit in the 12th inning to win it. 11th comeback win of the season for the Longhorns. And ready to go to back to work here in the second, Griffin Lanou, who retired the side 1-2-3 in the first inning. Last night, Longhorns 2 runs in the early innings, 2 runs on 3 straight hits to open up the second against Xavier starter Damian Richard. Hibbler, Ford, Reynolds with base hits. Reynolds RBI base hit. Cameron Fields picked up or retired for the final out of the inning. Ford scored on a wild pitch, and then they did not have a hit again against Richard. This one to right field, well struck. Shepsky will play it off the wall. On his way to second, Zubia, the throw is offline, and Zach with a leadoff double to open up the second.
Zach Zubia has excellent power to all direction, and when he lets the ball get deep and lets it come to him, he has the ability to go the other way with real authority. And boy, this ball's deep, drives this ball the other way, gets good extension on it, and it rides the wind. But you can see how deep that ball was. He was inside out it. Good start to the second inning for Texas. And right here, he's thinking, I've got to really go to get to second base. Throw was missed the cutoff man.
Mason Hibbler.
Well, this is a Musketeer team. You know, for Longhorn fans, understand that there's teams in the North, they've been outside very few times. They've had very little opportunity to work in space on their home park just because of the weather.
Most teams from Ohio through the Northeast will take long stints in Florida, Arizona, even to California. Billy O'Connor said before the game, St. John's expected or projected to win the Big East regular season title. They opened up with 3 straight losses in Los Angeles against UCLA.
In the Big East, St. John's year in and year out is who you got to look at, no doubt. They've had an excellent program for years.
Ed Blankmeyer, longtime coach of the St. John's Red Storm. Hibbler, 19 hits on the season. Zupia dances away from second.
Still early in the game, play the game. And Hibbler, if you're a hitter right here, you want 2 jobs. You'd love to drive this guy in, but the other job for sure, if you make an out, make it a productive out. Hit the ball to the right side of the field. Move Zubia up to third where you can score without the benefit of a base hit.
Lanu, a long look towards second, and fires a strike to even the count at 2-2.
Well, I tell you what, you're not going to do much with that pitch. If that pitch is a strike all day, it's a pitcher's day. Now, it very well may be a strike. I mean, it could have been knee high, could have been right on the outer half or outer corner, but you're not going to do a lot with it.
Towards third and foul.
But that's what it forces you to do, Steve. As a hitter, you're all right. If that pitch is a strike and it looks like it's in the same spot, I got to go after it. I mean, I've got to try to put it in play because I can't let it go by. I don't want to be standing up there with a call third strike with a runner in scoring position.
Second baseman Altenberger trying to cheat towards the bag.
You're right. Big gap on the right-hand side of the infield.
Check swing, went around. Catcher Stevenson down to first base. First strikeout for Lanu. And Hibbler retired.
That's a good breaking ball. We said he had a good slider, especially down in the zone. You look around the Big 12, a lot of things happening. Ooh, West Virginia gives Oklahoma their first loss of the year in Big 12 play. And then how about the Cowboys? Coming back on TCU. TCU had a lead in that ball game. Game 1. The Red Raiders doing their job.
West Virginia was in last night's game, losing 2-1 to Oklahoma. Sooners, as you mentioned, first loss, now 4-1. They had won 8 of 9. Lance Ford, 6-game hit streak. Down low, ball 1 on the Longhorns' second baseman. Couple of doubleheaders with washouts on Friday and series openers around the conference.
The Red Raiders and Baylor winning the first game. Second games are just underway. You know it's cool in the prairie state of Kansas.
Longhorns next weekend will be on the road against Baylor. Shortstop Given tosses over to first base. Ford retired, and Zubia leadoff double, a strikeout and a ground out to the left side, and Zubia has been anchored at second base.
Given is just so smooth. He's one of the best shortstops we've seen here at UFCU Disch-Falk Field in a long time. He reminds me of the young man that's in the Texas dugout. And you can just see what Gibbon brings to the table. He gets to everything. The ball comes out of his hands so smooth. He's got a strong arm if he needs it, but he knows exactly how to get rid of it. It's own time every time. I love how he follows his throw each time. Well, he is a smooth operator right there.
2 errors all of last year in 2018, just 1 this year. Billy O'Connor said before the game, the error that he had this year on the road, a hot shot right at him that came up late and got him in the belt buckle, and he thought hit all the way on the road and went up as an E6. Sam Bertelsen at the plate, 4 hits and 19 at bats on the season.
Musketeers are excellent defensively to start with, but it starts with their shortstop, where you got to be good behind the plate, up the middle, and in center field to be a good defensive team, and he sets the table for everybody.
Not only leading the Big East, but also amongst the best teams defensively throughout the nation. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Bertelsen.
And that's hard to do when you can't be outside and work. Because be a good defender, you got to work at it.
As Billy O'Connor said yesterday, they have grass, dirt in field.
I bet it's not green grass yet.
Not yet. Can take the ground balls inside in January and February, but once you get out there, just like hitting, you know, you're seeing live pitching for the first time maybe when you're on the road in Florida if you're a Northeast team, and same thing, you're taking ground balls for the first time, and now you've got a runner, game conditions.
Well, you got the depth behind what's behind you. In a cage, you feel like you're in a tunnel hitting. You get on a real field, you got the depth, the batter's eye behind it.
Bertelsen a pinch hit in the 10th inning last night, getting the start at first base in the second game of this 3-game series. Longhorns with a tying run at second. Zubia leadoff double there with 2 outs. This one stung in the air to right center. Sexton lines it up, makes the catch. Zubia got the inning off on a positive start, but he's left at second. 1-0 Xavier.
Texas are up.
1-0 Xavier. Texas up a game in the series. It wraps up tomorrow, noon Central start time on LHN.
I got to be close to that fire pit.
On a day like today, absolutely. That's exactly where you want to be. Altenberger double, run scored in the first inning, giving the Musketeers an early 1-0 lead against Blair Henley. Our friends out in Occupy left field have the wind to their back on this Saturday early evening. It's a great video, showed it to you before the game.
Absolutely.
Mini documentary on Occupy left field here at Disch-Falk Field. Anchor it down, gentlemen. Time called for at the plate.
That's a big inning. Henley needs to have a quick inning, limit his pitches here, and try to get back into, you know, about 14, 15 pitches per inning. This is his 45th right here.
Pass Henley towards second, lands forward to his right, fires onto first base, retiring his counterpart, Altenberger. And 1 down. He's retired the leadoff hitter in 2 of the first 3 innings. Watching Lance Ford, and you saw him early on in the year, but seeing him during the Texas Tech series, and you were out in Stanford, just looks more and more comfortable at the second base position. We touched on it last night.
True freshman from Kerrville to Ivy High School in Kerrville. He get adjusted to play the speed of the game at the college level. I mean, every step that you make up the ladder, from playing pony league ball to high school ball to college ball to professional ball, the speed of the game increases, and it's just an adjustment. It's not that you can't play there or have the confidence to play there. It's just adjusting to it.
And that's nothing new. That goes back to when you played here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's never going to change.
Grammas, RBI ground out in the first. 13th RBI in the season.
I mean, and this sport is much like what we see in college basketball and college football, too. In high school, guys just run away from everybody. Well, you get in a football stadium now, you don't run away from everybody because everybody's got that same thing. You're on the same level.
That's a great point. I've only ever thought about it. Grammas continues to pound another one into the ground at the plate. I've only thought about it from the baseball side, but yeah, it's certainly true to form in every other sport as well.
Oh, absolutely. It's just the speed of the game. How do you adjust to it?
On the football side, to come to the college level, Big 12 school, and get hit for the first time like you'd never gotten hit in high school. Like you said, probably rarely even got hit for terrific running backs or receivers or quarterbacks. Xavier players up.
You know, the interesting thing about Grammas driving these couple of balls into the ground, he's the starting pitcher, scheduled starting pitcher tomorrow for the Musketeers.
Henley thought he had strike 3, count 2-2.
And this is a cool day. It even hurts even worse when you do that. And see that pitch count over 50 now for Henley.
Shrugs the shoulders, goes to work. Able to hold up and runs the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Greg, I think, made the point prior to the game yesterday. Went back to Luken Baker at TCU. Jim Schlossnagle said, you know, Luken Baker's not a Friday night starter per se in the Big 12, but we go with him Friday so he's fresh throughout the weekend. On the other side, Henley with a 1-out walk to Grammas and a base runner for Xavier. They've had at least 1 in every inning so far. Grammas was a Saturday guy, but if you pitch him on Friday, you know, he gets his at-bats, and you know, I think you were alluding to it, putting balls into the ground there. You hit one off your foot and all of a sudden you're not available. Sunday you begin to scramble for a Game 3 starting pitcher.
Yeah, when the two-way guys, you really have to watch it and how you're going to use them.
Aubrey Major 1 for 1 with a single. Cues 1 foul.
Good changeup right there. Good pitch. Good. That's good all the way around. You got a guy that you just walked a guy. The guy's thinking, well, he's going to start me with a fastball. Good straight change.
And jumps in front, 0-2. When you talk about two-way players, do you sort of set the bar at Brooks Kieschnick and go from there?
Oh, for Longhorn fans, there's no question he's the best two-way player in Texas history. And there's been John Olerud. There's some other ones that have been out there. There's no doubt.
Pop up on the infield. Hibbler, the shortstop, makes the call and makes the catch. 2 down. How do you see it evolving in years to come?
Well, I think it's possible, especially in the American League, where you have the DH. I think it's definitely possible that you could have a guy that could DH 3 to 4 days a week. And then the day he pitched, I would let him hit.
Hausinger taps one to Henley. Toss to first, inning over. Grammas a walk and nothing else doing. We'll talk with Xavier head coach Billy O'Connor when we come back.
The eyes of
Xavier up 1-0 as the Longhorns get set to hit here in the 3rd inning. Musketeer head coach Billy O'Connor joins us from the third base dugout. Strong starting pitching last night. What have you liked so far from Griffin Lanoux?
Guys, I got to hold on a second. I think we got something with our pitcher here. I'll be back to you in just a minute. Sorry about that. Here, Henry Miller's going to be a great guy to talk to right now.
Henry, thanks for putting the headset on. How are you?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
What's going on out there?
Nothing much. Just hanging with the boys, having a good time.
Is Griffin all right?
Oh, Griffin's great. He'll be fine.
Hey, what can you give us on guys eating sandwiches in the dugout before and during the game last night early on?
I'm just kind of a ritual we have with the Jimmy Johns.
There you go.
I'll hand it back over to the coach.
Billy, appreciate you coming back on with us.
We're back.
Hey, good substitute there.
Henry's a great kid.
What was going on in that situation? Is he okay?
Hit his finger on something there, I think. A little bit of blood, but it's going to be all right.
In terms of your starting pitchers so far, Griffin, Lanu today, last night Damian Richard, you got a strong performance last night, and he's given up just the one base hit over the first 2 scoreless.
Yeah, Griff's throwing the ball well right now. You know, it's a tough day to hit with the wind howling in, straight in from center. So, you know, the biggest thing is just attacking the strike zone, try to get the ball on the ground as much as possible, let our infield do their job. But he's doing a great job of that so far, working ahead for the most part, too.
Coach, one of the things we got into discussion is two-way players. When you look at Connor, how do you use him in the DH before you pitch him on Sunday? Then he fouls 2 balls off his foot. So I'm sitting there going, how do you work that out? What is your logistics? You ever thought about moving him to Friday?
Well, we try to get him as many protective pieces as possible, but Connor sometimes chooses not to wear those. But, yeah, you know, it's something we've tried to manage a little bit. There's one time where we didn't hit him when he was pitching, but, you know, he's a good athlete, and he's used to doing both. So, you know, it's not too big of an issue for him.
I asked you before the game about this one. We just heard about the Jimmy John's ritual. Skyline chili or Texas chili? What do you prefer?
You know, I haven't had a chance to go get some Texas chili yet on this trip, but, you know, I know I'm going to anger a lot of the viewing nation of Longhorn Network, but, man, Skyline's as good as it gets. I know that 99% of the country might disagree with me, but I can't wait to get back home and have some on Monday night.
Well, I tell you what, it's very good. I've been to Cincinnati many times, and trust me, it is excellent.
Yeah.
Billy, thanks so much.
No problem.
Billy O'Connor, Xavier head coach, joining us from the third base dugout. Had a pinch hitter there for a moment. His starting pitcher, Griffin Lanu, appears ready to go. Tate Shaw stands in, hits one on the ground, back through the middle of the diamond and into center field. And for the second straight inning, the leadoff man aboard for the Longhorns.
And don't be surprised to see Coach Pierce play a little small ball. He's talked about it this week, about maybe doing a little bit more, pushing the issue a little bit. His M.O., really and truly, Steve, is not to play that. I mean, he would like to build bigger innings, but leadoff base runners, especially with some with speed, I would think that this is a great opportunity to get Michael McCann to get the bunt down, get that guy in the scoring position back to the top of the order.
And we both talked along with Greg prior to game 1 of the series with Billy O'Connor. I think similar in the thinking of, you know, we'll bunt when we really have to, but we're looking for, you know, stringing hits together and putting 2, 3, 4 runs up on the board.
Yeah, crooked numbers win games.
Runner goes, throw down to second base. Gibbon trying to apply the tag, and Shaw's in there with a stolen base.
Well, there was a little hit and run instead of the bunt. It went to that. McCann couldn't make contact. What an effort by Gibbon to make this tag. Folks, watch this. This ball is way offline. Watch him go behind him. Reverse, come down. He got a tag on it, and it may be one that you can review, but front foot got in before the tag on the back foot. But that was one heck of an effort.
Billy O'Connor coming out of the third base dugout. And the 4 umpires will come together. Tate Shaw pleading his case with the Xavier infielders out at second.
Well, Chris Gibbon did a wonderful job trying to get the tag back. Again, the throw was up the left field side of second base and high, but he put himself in position to pivot as soon as he was catching the ball to get the tag back down. Made it much closer than he thought. The tag did come down to get the back foot, but the first view I saw, it looked like Tate Shaw got his right foot on the bag before the tag was made, but that was a great effort.
And for the third time in this series, they will go to the review with the replay. We had 2 last night. And both calls last night that went to review were upheld.
This is really close.
Both instantly trying to plead their case.
They did.
And even Altenberger coming in from behind, putting up the hand, indicating, you know what, this one close enough to come take a look at. And now Billy O'Connor back out of the dugout, and he's going to talk with the home plate umpire, Roger Claycomb, about his starting pitcher. We started the inning off with Billy taking the headset off And going out and checking on Lanu, and Lanu was okay.
Well, Lanu on his pitching hand does have some white tape, and then you saw Coach Pierce come out and say, hey, white tape with the ball is, you can see that on his index finger. That tape or a Band-Aid. Sometimes it's hard to get a feel for that. Cool day, he's going to continue to throw to make sure he stays warm. But
stolen base by Shaw under review. As Lanu with a 1-0 lead here in the 3rd inning. And Xavier trying to even up this series at a game apiece. Coy Cobb will get the start against Connor Grammis for the series finale Sunday, noon Central start time on the Longhorn Network. And this is actually taking a lot longer than I anticipated originally. Musketeers are running the 1st inning and an RBI ground out by Grammis.
You want to make sure you get all these right. That's the other thing. And sometimes, many times you look at it, it's as many different angles as you can get. It was still a heck of a play to even make it as close as it was.
So much of what we've seen from Given, yes, hard work certainly plays into it, but he's just natural, so natural out there.
Yeah, he's a tall young man, does a nice job. It moves around. The interesting part for me again was he put himself in position. You could see him get in position to say, I'm going to catch this and go behind. So he put himself in position before the ball got there where he could fall and come down and make the tag to the bag, you know, with a pivot, 180-degree pivot to come back. Made it extremely close.
Tate Shaw leadoff base hit and run, able to steal second. And right now, the tag by the shortstop Chris Given under review. Given thought they got the out. Shaw popped up immediately, indicated safe. I think at that point the heel on the front foot is in there.
The heel is in there, and then the tag. Chance to see it from our left field camera. Yeah, right there, and there's the tag applied. I don't believe there's enough to overturn that.
There was one I was watching when you guys had the Arkansas series where I thought there was a play at the plate where you could almost eliminate to say on one shot, okay, there's the glove, and on another shot you could say we know where the glove is there, where I thought he was safe. And we continue here with the play under review. Shaw at second base right now with a stolen base. Billy O'Connor, Xavier head coach, is out chatting with the 2 umpires still on the field, including Roger Claycomb, the home plate umpire.
Well, this is the longest one we've had this season, so that tells you that
and it's his pitcher out there that is trying to stay warm. Michael McCann at the plate for the Longhorns. Michael went back to non-deck circle and took the batting donut, put it back on the barrel of the bat.
the toughest part here is you know, if you're out there and you're in the field, there's not much you can do unless you're the pitcher and the catcher. You can play catch and might throw a ball around.
Shaw in between the two middle infielders. And we're going to be a few more moments here. Oh, here we go.
Looks like we had some movement.
Thought they were both coming out from the tunnel. No indication. Are they going to come over and offer an explanation here? All four are going to come together, and I think they're going to bring both coaches. Billy O'Connor has come out. David Pierce is out of the first base dugout.
I would think that they're talking, if there is a problem, whatever they're going to do, they're talking about that you got to stand with what's called.
We understand there are technical difficulties with the review system.
In that case, I would think it would revert back and he would be safe and we would play ball because the initial signal was safe, so that's where we play from. So no indication that we're going to go back to, it looks like now we're going back to play ball, so Tate Shaw is awarded a stolen base.
Darren Steers jogging back out. He is a second base umpire. Even he has a little smile on his face, and we're back and ready to play ball once again. Stolen base for Shaw. And he is at second base with nobody out here. Lengthy delay. Let's see how Griffin Lanoux responds. And Lanoux goes back to work. He's got the count of a ball, no strikes, and one of the fingers on his pitching hand wrapped up. Outside, ball 2. Stevenson keeps that one at home plate. McCann.
The interesting part for me in this whole delay is we saw Lanoux throw a lot of pitches. I saw him only throw fastballs. I did not see him throw a breaking ball because he definitely has a Band-Aid on his hand. Now, how far it goes out on his index finger, I'm not sure. If he got it way out on the tip of his finger, it's really difficult to control a breaking ball.
Good bunt, third base side. Lanoux fires a strike to first base. And Workington taking the throw. Shaw moves to third. He's there with one down.
Now Michael McCann, the senior, gets the job done. Move that guy up. Now infield probably will stay back for the Musketeers. And no, they're coming up here. Unusual, in my opinion, with a 1-0 lead in the third inning to move up. But you can see that Band-Aid on that index finger, but it seems to be back far enough that's really not affecting the fingertip where he's going to get his feel.
Wonder how deep the cut is under there. Duke Ellis with the infield up, chopper towards first, and foul.
Well, that tells you something right there. Just though it's a foul ball, Steve, Tate Shaw is on contact. So there he is moving down the line. He'll come down the line on any kind of contact off the bat of Duke Ellis. So you can get doubled up in that scenario, but Texas taking a chance having the contact play on.
Sean Allen, third base coach, behind the base runner Tate Shaw. Shaw. Ellis delivered the walk-off winner last night. The index finger on the right hand, and here is Lanoux right on top of the knuckle, it appears.
Yeah, so that means the Band-Aid is up, and he's got the full end of his fingertip, and he can feel his breaking ball, so it should not be that affecting that much.
Ellis right to the shortstop Gibbon. He comes to the plate. Shaw slides. The tag by Stevenson, and Shaw cut down at the plate.
Boy, how slick is Gibbon. He didn't panic, knew exactly where he wanted to go. Contact play was on as Shaw was coming down the line, who runs well. He was moving as soon as contact was made. Gibbon took his time. Perfect delivery. It's the out at the plate. That's well done.
Ellis reaches on the fielder's choice. If you're a scout right now, you have your scout hat on. You've seen him make just about every play so far in the first game plus of this series.
He can play shortstop.
Maybe you want to see his range up the middle or something, but you can leave here. Kennedy, the hitter, looks at a first pitch strike. Eric retired on a comebacker to the mound in his first at bat. Billy O'Connor said before the game that he's had scouts talk with him, and he is a senior, Chris Gibbon. but you know, he could be a top 10 round pick come June for the first-year player draft for all 30 Major League Baseball teams. Throw to first base, and Ellis was leaning. Workington, ball glancing off his glove.
Yeah, he tried to tag him before he caught the ball. It's fortunate for the Musketeers that ball stayed in the infield. And sometimes as an ex-first baseman, you see that, oh, I got him, and you want to catch it and move the tag down before you secure the baseball.
One strike pitch to Eric Kennedy. Finds the outside corner. And it's 0-2.
We talked about command. 13 walks and 18 2/3 coming into the game. I can remember very few 3-ball counts that Griffin's had. He has attacked the strike zone.
He has made the Texas hitter so far in this ball game put the ball in play, and using that strong defense that we have talked about throughout. 2 strikes, throw to first, and Ellis is out. They went back there again. Ellis picked off 1-3 for the final out here in the 3rd inning. 1-0 Xavier as we go to the 4th here at the Dish. Ellis caught off first base, picked off for the final out in the home 3rd inning. Back in center field. Underneath that Texas jersey, a kitty cat.
Oh yeah,
I
guarantee it's on today. And he might be chilly. He might be thinking about something else.
Shepsky wraps one on the ground to second. Thrown out by Ford, 1 away. And 3rd time in 4 innings, Blair Henley has retired the leadoff batter. Gave a 1-out walk in the 3rd, and you said this is an inning where he needs to get back in the dugout quickly, and you can say the same thing here in the 4th inning.
You're right, because of the delay and everything. He hasn't been out there. It's a cool day, but boy, his pitch count right at 16. Needs a quick inning.
Workington hits a laser past Reynolds and into left field. Matt Workington, a 1-out base runner, and Xavier has had at least 1 base runner in each of the first 4 innings against Blair Henley.
You know, they talk about all the new techniques and things that are in the game of baseball, and they are good. They're great teaching tools, really good scouting tools. But when you hit a baseball and you can see the explosion of the bat with your naked eye, you don't have to look at swing speed. You don't have to look at exit velocity. That ball is smoked.
Workington at first base. Luke Stevenson stands in. Walked and was left stranded back in the 2nd. Henley 1 strikeout and 2 walks. Hibbler out of his reach. Back-to-back singles, and that puts runners at 1st and 2nd.
Well, Luke's got a base hit in another game. You were talking about him having one fantastic ball game this year where he had 5 hits in 1 game. You can see that smile on his face. He's glad to get a base hit in another ball game.
Number 9 hitter Andrew Sexton 0 for 1 and 2 hits now in his last 26 at bats. Henley from the stretch. Sexton showing bunt and taking the pitch for a strike. Yeah, that was a game against Grand Canyon. Xavier lost 25-18. They led 10-5 after 5 innings. Grand Canyon scored 18 runs in the 6th. They trailed 21-10 going to the 8th, and he scored 8 runs and got to within 3. 2 teams combined for 44 base hits in that ball game.
That was a day when you were a pitcher, you're saying, oh, don't call my number.
The phone in the bullpen's not working.
Yeah. Don't call my number.
I pitched 9 days ago.
And if you're an offensive player, you're saying, when do I get my at bat?
Yep. Feeling frisky on the bench if you're not in the starting lineup in a game like that. Workington, the lead runner at 2nd.
Ooh. Just misses right there. Now 3-1. This is a big pitch in this game right now. Musketeers with a lead. Top of the lineup waiting.
3-1. Sexton takes upstairs, and now the bases are loaded. Third walk issued by Henley. Workington to third, and Stevenson now in scoring position at second.
For Blair, I think he's got to stay in the stretch. He's going to the windup. Boy, I like double play ball. It's hard to get a double play ball out of the windup.
See the numbers on the two starting pitchers. Off of McCann. Here comes the runner, Workington, and he'll dive in and in there safely on the wild pitch.
Well, it does so many things. Not only does it put a run across, it takes a double play away. McCann didn't get out to it as a breaking ball away, tried to backhand it. It scooted on Michael, got away from him. Chance for a big frame for the Musketeers.
Reynolds will come home. The runner falls down, and McCann able to apply the tag on Stevenson.
That's a really good play by Ryan Reynolds to take advantage of the stumble, but just going to his left hard, reverse pivoting. He was going to have to make a fast throw to the plate to get an out, but after the stumble, he realized that the runner had stumbled. Watch, he turn, find it. Okay, I've got time, and now gets the out.
The bat was in the right side of the batter's box for McCann and the runner Stevenson. So 2 down. Gibbon reaches on a fielder's choice. Altenberger, a double and a run scored.
Limit the damage if you're Henley here. Got to make your best pitches of the day right now.
Opposite way and slicing foul on the warning track. I'm looking at my scorecard. Sexton on that ball to the left side. Okay, you're holding up, but on the throw to the plate, he was on second base on the wild pitch.
Yeah, but the ball carried Reynolds right toward him, so he had to freeze. Not sure where Reynolds was going to go with the baseball.
Well put. Altenberger takes in tight. He's been hit 4 times this year. They changed from a wild pitch to a pass ball on McCann.
I would concur on the call, on the change. You can see Reynolds here as he goes to his left, Steve. He does a great job getting to him. He looks at second. You can see he had to go back. Then he sees the stumble, has the presence of mind to slow down and get the out, but there was no way to move up because Reynolds did a great job of looking the runner back and getting the out.
And the bases are loaded. Second walk of the inning.
Well, this is not the guy you want to face. We highlighted him in the open. This is a guy that can change things in a hurry. Already down 2-0 here.
Sexton now at third base. And Gramis, RBI ground down the first, walked and was left stranded in the third. Henley has walked 4 hitters in this ball game and fires a fastball strike. It's 0-1.
He's had Blair Henley stuff. Just been inconsistent. He hasn't been able to command an attack like we've seen him through most of the season.
He has walked 4 hitters in his 3rd straight start. They appeal on the check swing, and he did not go around.
I didn't see a call.
Are we coming now?
Now
yes,
we finally got a call.
Will Thornwell.
He appealed, didn't answer. McCann had to go back and say appealed again. The barrel of the bat's definitely in front of the plate. That's a break for the Musketeers.
Opposite way to right field. Shaw reaches down, makes the catch, slides to his feet, and that retires the side. A run across 3 left on. David Pierce, head coach of the Longhorns, joins us when we return. Head coach David Pierce joins us from the first base dugout. Coach, what have you seen from Blair so far over the first 4 innings, giving up the 2 runs?
Just a little bit behind, up occasionally, but for the most part, he's pitched well. But when he's made mistakes, they've done a great job of hitting him.
Putting them where there's not anybody. That's the one thing you do. On the other side, on the offensive side, really hadn't got any continuity going in the game. Hadn't been able to plug anything together yet.
No, we really haven't. We get a leadoff double by Zach, and we leave him out there. We just got to get better at being ready to hit the balls that are in the strike zone that are good hitters' pitches, and then leave pitchers' pitches alone early in the count.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
David Pierce joining us from the Longhorn dugout. Eric Kennedy was at the plate when Ellis was picked off at first for the final out in the 3rd inning. Coach Pierce last night, his 99th victory in 2+ seasons wearing the Longhorn uniform and at the helm, and his 296th victory overall. That's with Sam Houston State, Tulane, and Texas.
Now this is a big inning, really for both sides. When you look at the Musketeers, they've had a really chance to blow this thing open. They had a real chance to have 4 or 5 run lead. They have a 2-run lead. Texas really has got to find some continuity on the offensive side.
Kennedy shows bunt, has a count in his favor at 3-0. Went 0 for 5 last night, still looking for his first hit of the series. Longhorns had a leadoff man reach in the 2nd, double by Zubia. He was left on as Lanu came back and got the next 3 hitters. Shaw leadoff base hit in the 3rd, stolen base. Sacrifice was at 3rd, less than 2 outs, and was cut down at the plate with the infield up on a ground ball to shortstop. Kennedy taking, and it's over, 3-1.
This is a pitch right here. You got to make sure you can square up. You're leading off. Your team's down 2.
Opposite way, Major, right in his tracks, makes the catch.
That's what you got to do. I mean, you can't be upset about it. You say, well, maybe you should have taken a pitch there to see if you can get a ball in the middle of the zone and make sure you can square it up. He did exactly that. It just hit it right at one of the defenders.
Ryan Reynolds 0 for 1 will stand in. Lanu a lot different than Blair Henley. He's been efficient.
Those are good numbers. Doing a nice job getting outs and getting outs pretty quickly.
Reynolds grounded to 2nd, his first at bat. Big swing, comes up empty. Reynolds hit the ball sharply in his first at bat. Altenberger made a nice play. To center field. Andrew Sexton, a couple of steps to his right, 2 away.
It's not a day to hit it in the air. Especially to center and left, because it ain't going to go nowhere.
Zach Zubia. See the flags? Out behind the center field wall. It's been that way throughout the course of this Saturday. Zubia leadoff double on the 2nd, left stranded. And takes ball 1. Zach, I don't know if it's a part of his pregame routine, but he'll be up in the cage by himself on the concourse, hitting balls off the tee.
Well, with the renovations going on, the new center going down the right field line, the guys have to use the concourse. They've got cages that they use in time. You can see the new facility under construction. Should have it ready by the fall.
Renderings look terrific.
But you can do a lot of work for a young hitter. Steve, if you want to understand extension and swing path, you can do a lot of work on a tee. It's great education. It's a great way to repetition, repeat motor skills.
Count now 2-2 on Zach Zubia, the cleanup hitter, hitting with 2 down and the base is empty in the home 4th inning. Last couple of years I've had to deal with 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds.
Oh, yeah.
I don't play T-ball anymore. I don't have to hit off a tee.
Oh, you can still do it. There was lots of days that I did not take batting practice, but I worked on a drill, soft toss drill.
Strikeout of Zubia, 1, 2, 3, 4th for Lanu. A look at the Irwin Center here in Austin. Men's basketball team victories in the NIT against South Dakota and Xavier last Sunday. Convincing win Wednesday against Colorado at the Irwin Center. And now it's on to New York and Madison Square Garden for the semifinals against TCU that Tuesday night on ESPN and the Longhorn IMG Radio Network.
Well,
they're in the Final Four.
Well, they're in the Final Four. The NIT, the 3rd time's a charm if you're a Longhorn fan. They have dropped 2 games, one in Fort Worth and one here at Austin against TCU during the season. So it's the 3rd time they met this season.
Texas softball team losing for the first time. Lost the opener 1-0 on the road against Oklahoma State Friday night. First time in conference play. Aubrey Major 1 for 2 with a single. Down in the count, 0-2 on Blair Henley.
Good straight change right there. Pull. Now 0-2. Can't make a mistake. Keep it out of the middle of the zone.
Major has seen a couple of the better change-ups from Henley. Good miss there.
Yes, out of the zone. Back to the changeup here.
And swings through it. Henley picks up a strikeout.
Hitting his rhythm and timing, and Henley does a nice job of speeding him up, throwing him the fastball, and come right back to the chains. And as a hitter, you've just seen that fastball, and then you start the barrel forward, can't stop it.
Back to work. Hausinger 0 for 2 at the plate, stands in.
I think that's one of the things we've seen from Blair. His improvement in command of his changeup has been something that we've seen. Still working on command and consistent command with his breaking ball, but his changeup, especially the left-handed hitters, has been outstanding.
When you see a pitch breakdown from a starter at the end of a game, how many changeups? What's a good number?
Well, it's an interesting question. I think there's 2 caveats. Right-handed pitchers don't like to throw changeups to right-handed hitters, so it starts with there. How many left-handed hitters are in the lineup against you? If let's say there's 5, then I think that could be a percentage as high as 20 to 25% of the pitches could be a changeup, because it's a great pitch to a left-handed hitter. Same way for a left-handed pitcher that's facing a bunch of right-handed hitters. That percentage is going to go up because they're facing a right-handed hitter.
So explain why a right-hander doesn't want to throw the changeup to a right-handed batter.
If you make a mistake, the rhythm and timing of a right-handed hitter, if you make a mistake up, they're going to get to it. A left-hander's already spent, and he's out there, and he has a tough time getting to it. But right-handers have a tendency to stay back longer on the fastball.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Blair Henley here in the 5th inning, 2 away. And Jake Shepsky will come to the plate. It's an outing right now. You almost can't put your finger on it. David Pierce said, he's pitched well. He's given up the 2 runs. He's keeping his team in it. He has walked 4 in the outing so far. Doing a nice job keeping the hitters off balance here.
That hasn't been his MO, though. He has had better command than he's had today. He's pitched through trouble. Good change up again right there.
Right there, yep.
But in my opinion, I think you would, if he can get this quick out here, I think you bring him back out and let him try to get through the 6th.
Bryce Elder went 6 innings last night. Did not allow a run. Left with a 2-0 lead and took a no decision.
I mean, this is the 7th start for Henley, and last night Elder. So and we talked about it. Most collegiate starters, if you're a weekend guy, are going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 13 to 14 in the regular season. So You know, they're halfway home. Their arm strength's already built up. They should be able to go to 100, 110 pretty well.
To right center field, Ellis giving chase. This one's going to fall for a base hit. And for the 5th straight inning, at least one base runner for Xavier, as Shepsky has his 2nd hit of the ball game.
Well, it got in on him. He just strong enough to muscle it. That was not in the middle of the zone. Might have been up just a little, but able to muscle that into right center.
Matt Workington, 1 base hit, 2 at bats, and a run scored. Shepsky now has 5 hits in the series. Hit hard, base hit through the left side. Kennedy will play it back in. Runner taking for 3rd. Reynolds with the tag. He's in there safely.
Ball definitely beat him, but the question is, did Reynolds get the tag down? The ball was there first. Get a chance to see the play. Reynolds is up, acting like the throw's not coming. Did he get him right there? Well, that's awful close. If he got him, get a chance to see right here. Does he get that leg? Does the ball move? I believe he did.
Umpires will come together. I think it was a good deke by Reynolds as Shepsky came in, landing gear down, but if they had known that throw was going to be closer and there, I think he would have perhaps awfully close.
Yeah, that view looks like he might have got the foot in first. One of the other views looked like he didn't get it in. We're going to have a review.
Our 2nd today, 4th of the series.
What's the cardinal rule? As a baseball player,
right,
never make that 3rd out of an inning at 3rd base. You're in scoring position at 2nd base.
Workington hits in each of the last 2 innings and has stung both of them.
Looks like there is contact right there, right before the bag, but that's from that angle.
Just glancing at most. Just right over the knee. Right there, and the foot isn't quite to the bag.
Isn't quite to the bag right there. One of the things you learn when you're making a tag, it's go, make the tag, act like you got it, and go on. Because if you go back, you're telling that umpire that
you know you missed.
You know you missed him.
None of the previous 3 reviews in the series so far have been overturned.
I think that shows that if there was contact, it was before he reached the bag. But from that angle, it's hard to see. Now this one, it looks like there is contact with the foot before it gets to the bag right there.
Yeah, just above the ankle.
Yeah.
Because there's no space, just for a split second. I think that's where he got the tag in there. And Reynolds did exactly what you wanted, and they overturn it. Shepsky is caught at 3rd, Kennedy to Reynolds, and that is the final out of the inning. Middle of the 5th, 2-0 Xavier over Texas. Fans here at the Dish.
Some hardy ones that are in shorts, I can tell you. Because this breeze, wind chill, it says 56 degrees, Steve, but the coldest place, and you've been down here enough, you got to come back in June because it'll be the hottest place you've ever been to. That's what UFCU Disch-Falk Field is. Coldest place in Austin and at times the hottest place.
You can see the temperature has dipped since our first pitch, just past 5:30 Central Time. Mason Hibbler will start things off here in the home 5th inning. Struck out his first at bat against Griffin Lanou. Minnesota native, used to pitching in these conditions.
He's done an outstanding job. He's been efficient. Look at that, 43 pitches through 4 plus 1 batter here. 4 innings plus 1 batter.
Mentioned earlier Phil Haig, Longhorn pitching coach from Minnesota, and he brought up an interesting point before the game. Most high school athletes play the fall, winter, and spring sports. They're not specialized playing one or maybe two sports. And the interesting point that he made was, as Hibbler wraps one on the ground, deep short, Given fires across the diamond, throw off line, leadoff man aboard here in the 5th inning for Texas.
Well, that's a great effort trying to get an out from Given. Hibbler really can run well. You can see that smile on his face. You got one chance. This is just catch it and throw it and hope it's on line. You got to get rid of it so quickly. And if that ball's on line, it might have got an out, but that's a great effort trying to get an out right there.
Leadoff man aboard for the 3rd time in 5 innings. Lance Ford 0 for 1. Lance a 6-game hit streak. But Phil's point was, when your fall sport, you do not start the winter sports season until the fall sports season is over. The same, you don't start spring sports until the winter sports, wrestling, hockey, basketball, are complete. So you may put the basketball down on a Friday night. Saturday, you're long tossing in the gym for the first time, and your first game might be 3 weeks away.
Yeah, I mean, I'm positive that their high school baseball seasons can't start until at least the big league season starts, and that's the 1st of April most of the time.
To center field, Sexton closing in, makes the catch on the run. Ford retired. They've hit that one off the end of the bat. Hibbler back to the bag at first.
And in this part of the country, we have high school teams that have already played 20 ball games.
2025, I'll be going to North Carolina on Tuesday and do the National High School Invitational, and teams in California do. They have almost 25 games under their belt.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 or 3 really good teams here in the Central Texas area, and all of them have more than 20 wins already.
Sam Bertelsen lined to center in his first at bat. Talking with David Pierce before the ball game, and Bertelsen, he compared his power to Zach Zubia and was just admiring some of the long home runs that he was clearing in right center field over the scoreboard. Young man with a lot of talent. Terrific freshman class for 2019 for the Longhorns. Touted as one of the top 10 in the nation by different outlets.
'50th pitch of the ball game. Count is 1-1, I believe.
Light toss over to first.
It is. I see the home plate umpire give the 1-1 count.
Hibbler reaching on an infield hit to open up the inning. Bertelsen into right field for a base hit. That will put runners at first and second with 1 down.
2 good at bats. It's 4 good at bats in a row for Bertelsen. He's a guy that they've been waiting to try to find it, swinging the bat offensively, because he's an excellent defensive player, and all of a sudden got something going here as Shaw comes to the plate.
Batting gloves in hand. Tate Shaw 1 for 1 with a leadoff base hit in the 3rd inning. He was cut down at the plate off on contact and thrown out by the shortstop Given. 6-2. Into center field for a base hit. Hibbler around 3rd. Sexton's throw to the plate, over the head of the catcher, throw to 3rd, goes into left field. Major will track it down, and 2 runs are going to come in to score. Shaw all the way around to 3rd.
It's an excellent piece of hitting. We talked about how well defensively Musketeers had played, but And it comes up trying to get Sexton, trying to get the out of the plate, overthrows it. And then the pitcher's in the right spot, and his throw to third is overthrown. There's only one miscue on the play, and that's going to be on the pitcher, Griffin, as he throws this ball away. All of a sudden, go-ahead run 90 feet away.
And with less than 2 outs, here's McCann at a sacrifice in his first plate appearance. Up and in. Off the glove of the catcher Stevenson, and the runner will score from third. Or are they saying it hit him? Shaw crossing home plate. Billy O'Connor out of the third base dugout. David Pierce out of the first base dugout. And Shaw.
If the ball hit McCann, Shaw has to go back, but McCann is awarded first base.
And Shaw already heading back towards third. You see there, it's definitely a dead ball, either a foul ball or hit by pitch. And McCann is jogging down to first base. Billy O'Connor wants an explanation coming out.
Did he bunt? Was he bunting at the ball?
And Roger Claycomb was pointing to Will Thornwell, wanting the explanation. And Billy O'Connor has been ejected from the game. Thornwell will walk away.
Shaw is sent back to third. It does go as a hit batter. McCann is awarded first base. Opportunity here. Started with the Hibbler base hit. My, how it turns quickly. Here's a chance to look at it again as this ball's coming up at the head of Michael McCann. And I don't think he was trying to bunt at that point. It hit him off the right wrist, it looked like right there.
You see Billy O'Connor in the background. So that will put runners at first and third. With 1 out in the inning. Shaw at third, representing the go-ahead run.
Back to the top of the order.
Duke is grounded out and reached on a fielder's choice. Skies one in the air, left center field. Sexton, Major, Sexton makes the catch. Shaw will tag. He will come in to score, and the Longhorns lead for the first time today. Tenth RBI in the season for Duke Ellis.
He has given the Longhorns a lead in this one, much like he did last night, to win the ball game in the 12th.
They're 4 RBIs in the series.
That's the home plate umpire's call. He goes down. He has the call at the plate. He also has the call of the tag. And a 3 spot for Texas here.
Eric Kennedy 0 for 2, still looking for his first hit of the series. And takes down low, ball 1. Griffin Lanou allowing just 2 base hits over the first 4 innings, giving up 3 runs here in the 5th. Billy O'Connor ejected.
Only 1 free pass, so that's the hit batter to McCann.
Opposite way and foul. He's still below 60 pitches through 4+ innings.
It's 3 runs in the inning and only 13 pitches in the inning.
Hebler, an infield base hit, got things going. Lanu has the sign from Stevenson. Runner fakes from first, and Kennedy takes a strike. McCann hit by a pitch, squared around a bunt with Shaw at third. Umpires came together, ruled on the hit by a pitch, and Billy O'Connor came out and was ejected by Will Thornwell, the first base umpire. Wrapped on the ground past the first baseman into right field. McCann will make the turn at second and hold up. And Kennedy extends the inning. Well, Kennedy throwing out a base runner to end the top of the inning and keeps the bottom of the 5th going.
Gets a ball middle in, turns on it, shoots it in the gap. When you're holding the runner, an opportunity to get separation right now. I think they were probably prompt to visit, and there has been some light activity, but nobody seriously throwing the Musketeers bullpen. There's been some guys stirring around. This may be the first time we actually see somebody up and starting to throw, and we do.
Brian Furlong out to the mound, pitching coach in his first year with Xavier. Well, this series will wrap up on Sunday. Series finale starts at noon Central. As always, the game will be on LHN and also available on the ESPN app.
An unusual start time. We've had unusual start times the whole time of this series. 5:30 today, 7 last night, and 12 noon on Sunday.
Connor Grammis, Coy Cobb, the scheduled starters for the finale. It's not like there's not a lot of other things going on in the area, right?
Well, there's a few things happening in Central Texas.
We established that in conversation last night. Ryan Reynolds, 8th batter to come to the plate here in the home 5th inning, 0 for 2 so far. Ryan is grounded out to second. Hit the ball sharply in his first at bat. Fly to center in the 4th. You talked about crooked numbers. 3 so far and looking for more. Lanu with a long look at second base. This is upstairs and the count 2-0.
This is a really good pitch to set on a pitch in one spot. Ryan, as of late, has done a nice job taking the fastball away to left field and going with it. Drove in a big run in last night's ball game going that way. It's a good opportunity to look out over the plate. You're not going to drive many balls out of the ballpark with this breeze, so get on top of it, try to drive it the other way.
Earlier in the game, Lanu had a cut on the right knuckle on the index finger of his throwing hand that had a band-aid, and that band-aid is now gone. 3-0 the count with Zubia standing on deck. See the hand without the bandage. Green light him here?
Just not with the breeze.
Okay.
This just
taking and looks at a strike.
A still evening? Absolutely. Because you got a chance to get a real big number all at once.
McCann, the lead runner at second with 2 down. Foul tip into the glove.
Now you got advantage Texas, so runners will be off here 3-2.
Mechanic, the catcher at second. Kennedy, excellent speed. The runner at first. Reynolds had the count, 3-0. Lanoux has battled back, and now Lanoux will step off the pitching rubber.
Well, this is the pitch of the game to this point of the ball game right now. Don't want to face Zubia. Already given up a 3 spot in the inning.
Looks towards second base. Kennedy will step away, or rather Reynolds will step away and go through his routine once again. Reynolds again, the 8th batter to come to the plate here in the 5th inning for the Longhorns. Down the left field line, this one's going to be trouble. Major will play it on the hop shy of the warning track. 2 runs are going to come in to score. It's a 2-run double for Ryan Reynolds and a 5 spot here in the 5th for the Longhorns.
If I'm not mistaken, that's the first extra base hit of this series, and Reynolds goes the other way. We talked about what he's been doing. The ball was out over the plate, didn't try to pull it. Drove it down into the left field corner, extra base hit. Again, that's what he's been doing very well lately, going with it the other way, and separates. 7th double of the season. First extra base hit for Texas in this series. Oh, I take that back. Zach Zubia at the plate had one in the first inning, second.
And Zubia coming to the plate, 9th batter in this inning against Lanoux. Fouls one off. Stares at the barrel of the bat. No extra base hits and losing 3 of 4 on the road at Stanford. No extra base hits in the series where they took 2 of 3 2 weekends ago against the Red Raiders. So 2 doubles, Zubia, and a 2-run double with 2 outs by Ryan Reynolds here in a 5-run 5th inning. Strike 2 as Lanoux comes back. Zubia is ready. Lanoux is ready. That's that 2-strike pitch that you've alluded to, you know, bury one or go up the ladder.
See if you can get the fish to bite.
Henley was unable to do that earlier. Gave up a couple of 2-strike hits on breaking balls that found too much of the zone. Bounces another one. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Zubia, the cleanup hitter. And 9th batter to come to the plate here and what has been a 5-run 5th inning. Longhorns had 3 hits and scoring 2 runs in the second last night against Damian Richard. They've put together 5 hits in this inning and looking for more. Zubia sends one in the air to center field. Sexton now coming over into right center field, gives way to the right fielder Shepsky. That ball was hit to straightaway center, and with the win, Shepsky makes the catch in right center field. Texas doing the damage here in the 5th, Keith.
Well, they did all the job. Tate Shaw does a nice job taking advantage of the miscues, and Texas put a 5 spot up.
(5-2) Texas. Longhorns trying to take the first 2 games of this series. Came back last night in the 10th to tie it up. Came back in the 12th and won it with Duke Ellis providing the heroics. Blair Henley takes the mound for the first time in this ball game with a lead.
Well, the interesting part of that game summary was you look at, if you add in last night, one of the things that the Musketeers have done a nice job of putting themselves in position to score some runs. They just haven't come up with that base hit when they've needed it. They've left a lot of guys on, struggling with runners in scoring position. There's twofold. One, that's a little bit on them, and the other, you got to talk about Texas pitching, being able to make their best pitchers best pitches when runners have been in scoring position. Now, that's a big inning. You look at the picture, 95 pitches. They would love to get Henley through this inning before they have to go to the bullpen, but the bullpen is up and starting to throw. Matt Whalen, sophomore right-hander from Houston, is up and starting to toss in the Texas bullpen. This will be a short leash for Henley here with that many pitches under his belt.
Has walked 4 in an outing for the 3rd straight start. And behind 3-1 on Stevenson, who is 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. Stevenson was cut down at the plate in the 4th inning. Given hit one to the left side, and Stevenson aboard with a walk, stumbled coming to the plate, and was tagged out by McCann. 5th walk of the game issued by Blair Henley.
Well, I think his leash is right at that moment right now. He allows another base runner in this inning. That'll be his day. So if he wants to stay in the game, you got to make your pitches in the zone now.
Sexton 0 for 1 with a walk. 2 for his last 26. Looks at a strike.
Sexton's walk in the 4th inning was a major part of that inning.
How about the ball by Zubia? Sexton in the center field.
Oh, and Zubia hit that ball in the head of the bat. It's just not today.
Perfect indication of just how the wind is blowing in from left field across the diamond. Henley falls behind, 2 balls and a strike. And this, Henley a couple of times has taken the baseball back and had a long stare in towards the home plate umpire.
And that is his 100th pitch of the ball game. 60 for strikes, 40 outside the zone.
Pop up, 3rd base side. Reynolds outside the coach's box makes the catch. So back to the top. Sexton back to the 3rd base dugout, and Chris Given.
They've done a nice job. Given came in hitting .350. He's been brilliant at shortstop. Only 1 hit, 1 walk in this series. 0 for 3 in this one. They've done Texas pitching has handled a really good hitter.
Has not reached in this game. Bunts in there behind the plate foul. And has reached in every game except one prior to game 2 of this series. 24 of the first 25. Sends one in the air to right field. Backing up, Shaw still going back off his glove. Stevenson will make it all the way to 3rd. Given will go into 2nd. An error on the right fielder, and that is the first error of the series for the Longhorns.
And Tate Shaw's an excellent outfielder. He just got crossways, got turned, but this breeze, it just keeps pushing it toward the line. And once he got his legs crossed, tried to reverse, come back to it, kept pulling away from him. 2-base error, and all of a sudden, something working for the Musketeers.
Altenberger 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Doubled with 1 out back in the 1st inning. Scored on a ground out by Gramis, who is on deck.
It is not an easy day to play in the field.
2-ball, no strike count on Altenberger. During your pro career, Wrigley Field.
Right field and Wrigley. Nightmares.
Comebacker. Henley, underhand flip, 2 down. Big out right there. Runners have to hold at second and third. What was the best advice you were given to play at Wrigley? And when you were there in the 80s, you played a lot of day games.
Well, make sure you had good sunglasses, good flip downs.
That helped with the wind.
Yeah, the wind, it didn't help, but you need good sunglasses.
Grammas 0 for 2 with a walk, picked up an RBI with a ground out. Back in the first inning, now 13 runs batted in on the year, and McCann is going to pay a visit, and he'll go out. He'll have company as Phil Haig will also.
Well, this is just to let him take a breath. This is when you go out and look at him and say, this is your last hitter. This is the guy that we don't want to, you're not going any more than this. You got 106 pitches under your belt right now. Make sure you're on the same game plan of how you're going to attack a really good offensive player that can do some things with the bat and go attack and know that this is the guy that's going to end your day. If you're retiring, you've had a really good day. If not, they're going to have to go to the bullpen. Bundle up.
Bundle up. There you go. Had their issues last night with runners in scoring position. 0 for 6 here in game 2 of the series. Grammas has the count in his favor. A ball and no strikes. 4 home runs, 4 doubles, 13 RBIs for Connor Grammas. Good breaking pitch there.
Best one we've seen in a couple of frames.
At one point, and a righty versus righty matchup here, but a couple of left-handed batters earlier featuring the strong changeup. McCann indicating there, gave the glove to Henley.
Well, that's where you want to miss. You want to miss down there. You don't want to miss up and out over the plate.
Remember earlier, Grammas had a couple of times at the plate and one at bat where he pounded the ball into the ground at home plate.
Now hitters count here. Be careful.
Up to 110 pitches over 5 2/3 innings. Grammas now asks for time. Stevenson, a leadoff walk. He's a lead runner at third with 2 down. He went first to third when Gibbon reached on the error by the right fielder. 3-1 is in for a strike.
Well, you said right-handers don't like to throw that changeup. There it was right there.
Three-two count on Grammas, 2 outs, second and third. And we'll do it again.
Good location. It's tied up. Connor inside that time. He's a big, strong hitter. Wants to get extension. That's a career high. Pitch is thrown in a ball game for Blair Henley.
Again, the payoff pitch. Towards third, Reynolds. On to first, inning over. And Henley strands 2 in scoring position. 5-2 Texas through the middle of the 6th inning.
All the park.
Five-2 Texas, bottom half of the 6th inning. Griffin Lanou is done after 5, gives up 5 runs total. On the short side right now and gives way to left-hander Nick Zwag, now working in relief for Billy O'Connor, and pitching coach Brian Furlong has been a starter on occasion this year.
Yeah, he's been stretched out. He can a guy that can go maybe finish the ball game if he does the job, and not going to overpower you. Somewhere in that 88 to 90 mile an hour range with his fastball. He's got to break a ball. Probably his best pitch is his changeup. Turns it over, runs it away from the right-handed hitters.
Started the series opener against Evansville just over a week ago last night. Xavier won the game, won the first two. Mason Hibbler starts things off, got things going with a leadoff base hit in the 5th inning. Reached on an infield single. Skies one in the air. Back of first, long run. Shepsky in foul territory. Shepsky makes the catch with the blue glove.
That was a great play. Almost overran it. It's just difficult on fly balls right now. They're really pushing to the line. It goes out, lays his body out. He's got to get to it, and then he just holds on to it. Catches it right on the thumb. Sliding. That ball would have been fair as well for extra bases. That's a great play.
Hibbler retired. Lance Ford 0 for 2, line to center in his last at bat. Zwak also worked this week against Wright State, inning and a third Wednesday. Did not allow a run, struck out 2, had 2 balks.
Big man still working on consistency within the strike zone. Has struggled at times with the strike zone.
Wrapped on the ground towards second. Altenberger to first, 2 away.
And he's coming here attacking, using his fastball. Different mindset sometimes, Steve, when you come out of the bullpen and you've been a starter, you come in and say, I'm going to establish my fastball before I worry about my other pitches. And sometimes you look up, you got 2 quick outs in an inning and you haven't thrown anything but your fastball.
And that's something that Billy O'Connor talked about before the series got underway in conversation. Bertelsen, base hit in his last at bat, 1 for 2. Starting role, velocity, lost it a little bit when he was extended as a reliever. You can, if you're going to go 1, 2, 3 innings, you can still, you can bring it there. You can have that velocity tick up just a bit. Maybe instead of 87, 89 over the course of a start, you're 91, 93.
And that was his first slider. Even though it wasn't in a great location, he does get ahead with it. And quickly it's 0-2 to Burleson. Oh, it's a different mindset. Go as long and as fast as you can as a reliever. There's times as a starter where you got to pace yourself.
Our guy who's being inducted into the Texas State Hall of Fame tonight in Waco, Greg Swindell, in his career went to the reliever role. 1, 2, 3 innings. Zwak strikes out Bertelsen. Longhorns go in order. We go to the 7th in a 5-2 ball game. Blair Henley shakes, handshakes, and hugs. His evening is done. 6 innings of 2-run baseball.
Yeah, you look at that. You look at that line. He's not going to be happy. He's going to be happy with the fact that he went 6 innings. That was a quality start. Only gave up 2 runs, but his command not as good as he has been. But he did a nice job, kept his team in the game, and he's in line for the victory. And they'll go to the bullpen to get the sophomore from Houston, Matt Whalen. And when you look at Matt has had some exceptional outings. This is his 9th appearance this season. He has an excellent changeup. I think his improvement is the fact that he's mixed in a little breaking ball, especially to right-handed hitters. He's been able to get some outs with, but fastball, changeup are his 2 best pitches.
He'll go to work and face hitters 4, 5, and 6 for Xavier here in the 7th inning. Major, Hausinger, and Shepsky.
And the other thing about Matt has the ability, Steve, that if he can get it going here, he can close it out. I mean, he's got a guy that could go 40 to 50 pitches. He's been stretched out this season already.
Aubrey Major, a single in the first, popped out to the shortstop in the 3rd, struck out against Blair Henley in the 5th inning. Shortened up and looks at a strike. Major and Gramus both played in the Cape Cod League last summer in 2018. Major, we've touched on, a sophomore, Big East Freshman of the Year. Big East All-Second Team in 2018. Two-way player. In the air, center field. Ellis coming in, makes the catch. That one stayed up for a while. Major retired, one down.
Well, as you said, ball goes in the air. You're going to be coming in before the end of it, I can tell you. Because this wind is pushing it back toward the infield, anything left and center, and pushing it to the right field line and right.
Great shot of the flags, blowing in the wind. Lights on. Hausinger, first pitch swinging. 0 for 3 so far at the plate with a couple of strikeouts. Hausinger, freshman.
Tell you what, Whalen's come in and attacking. That's the other part too. If you're coming out of the bullpen and you're a young pitcher and you look up at the board, all right, I've got 3 runs to work with. If I don't give them anything and I just attack them and force them to swing the bat, got a great chance to have success.
Strikes him out on 3 pitches, 2 outs in the inning.
That's an outstanding changeup. Got great arm speed with it. It's like halfway to the plate, a parachute comes out. Sometimes he can really make you look off balance.
Disch-Falk, right fielder, 2 base hits, a pair of singles. 2 outs in the frame. Henley worked with base runners in every inning over the first 6. Had 1 inning in the 5th where he struck out the first 2 batters. Shepsky reached with a single. And then Workington had a base hit, but Shepsky was cut down. Kennedy to Reynolds at third base on a play that was reviewed.
That was a big point of this game, because that's the 3rd out of the inning at third base. A little walk behind the mound. Whalen upset at himself. See if he comes back and attacks the zone right here.
Pop up left center. Kennedy, inning over. Matt Whalen, a 1-2-3 7th. It's time to stretch. Middle of the 7th inning, 5-2 Texas.
The eyes of
Francis. Tate Shaw, Michael McCann, Duke Ellis, 8-9 and 1 due up. Fans here at the Dish bundled up.
Now, not a lot of folks up dancing to the Cotton Eye Joe. They're trying to stay under the blankets right now.
Tate Shaw, 2 singles, RBI base hit, back in the 5-run 5th inning for the Longhorns. Nick Zwak, a 1-2-3 6th inning in relief of the starter Griffin Lanou. Series finale Sunday, noon Central Time on LHN. Coy Cobb will get the start for the Longhorns. Connor Gramis scheduled to start for Xavier. 3 for 3 game for Tate Shaw. He's aboard with a leadoff single. Tate with a fist bump for Philip Miller. And Michael McCann, no official at bats, a sacrifice in the 3rd, hit by a pitch, scored in the 5th. Well, last night you and Greg touched on it. When the Longhorns got in the bullpen, Colby Kubicek came on in the 7th inning, worked a 1-2-3 7th, and ran into trouble, a walk and a single to the first 2 batters in the 8th inning. You're hoping right now that Matt Whalen in the dugout thinking, I'm going to go out and do exactly what I just did in the top of this inning.
Well, it is the same. We saw it a couple of times last night where guys came out of the bullpen, were really good, and then struggled. The second inning they went out. So it'll be important in the 8th when he goes out. Now, you would like here offensively to make that, even if you're struggling a little bit, add some offensive runs to the board, make it a little easier. 5 spot in the 5th, the difference in the game right now.
Tate Shaw did have a stolen base back in the 3rd inning, his 4th of the season. Outside for a ball. 12 innings last night. Texas went to the bullpen. Kubicek, Quintanilla, Fields, Stevens, and Brendan Ivey ended up picking up the victory. Working 1 inning. Came in with 2 runners on. They both scored. But on the other side, Xavier, Richard went 7, and then Lane Flam went 4+ innings. Trevor Olson came on towards second. They get the out at second, back to first, safe. Nice job by McCann getting down the line. Altenberger played that one off the carpet.
It was good base running too by Tate Shaw. You just cannot give up the ability to go to second base because you weren't sure if this ball was going to get caught. So because of that, you sort of got to play halfway in the middle. Watch Shaw stop right here. This ball could have been caught. He really didn't know what to do, but it had to be on a short hop. With McCann hustling down the line, the play there would have been to go to first base and get Shaw in the rundown. That is a really difficult play to figure out when you're playing defense. You're more interested in making sure I get 1 out.
Yep. And Tate, from that view that we just saw, identified it immediately.
Yes, he did.
Duke Ellis drove in a run with a sac fly in the 5-run 5th inning for the Longhorns. 0 for 2 at the plate. Hits one to second. Altenberger goes to second. 1 back to first. Ellis, terrific speed, able to reach on the fielder's choice and keep the inning alive. Adam ball, and Altenberger got things started up the middle. Altenberger plays a little brace on his right hand. There you see it. Had that last night, and again for game 2 of the series. Eric Kennedy 1 out of 3 with a run scored.
This is a nice job coming out of the bullpen tonight for the Musketeers. He's come in throwing strikes and attacking the zone. He's trying to get back into that rotation. You're getting an opportunity to get the ball every weekend, and then all of a sudden it's not in your hand. You want to prove to somebody, hey, I should be out here on a regular basis.
Throw down to first base, and Ellis, who was picked off back in the 3rd inning, gets back in safely. Just in brief conversation with Billy O'Connor. You don't come back in this game, you're down 0-2 in the series, but you still go away from the ballpark with an awful lot to like from your team.
Well, I think what I've learned is that they can really play defense. They will be pesky outs. They will not get themselves out at the plate. They'll keep battling you through that part. They just hadn't been able to get that hit. They've had plenty of base runners. They hadn't been able to get that hit at the right time. Runners in scoring position have been the difference in this series to this point.
Slap towards short. Given was going towards the bag, fires to first base and gets Kennedy. Side retired. 7 in the books. Texas 5, Xavier 2.
Everybody.
Greg Swindell being inducted into the Texas Sports Hall of Fame tonight in Waco. Sending Drew Irvin, our producer, some pictures from the event.
Jason Witten and Zeke going in the same year. Nancy Lieberman also being inducted.
Greg Swindell, terrific 3 years, 2 trips to Omaha in 1984 and 1985 with the Longhorns. 5-2 ball game. Texas with the lead. Matt Whalen 1-2-3 7th goes back to work for the 8th inning. Matt Workington has a couple sharply hit singles in this ball game. Singled and scored back in the 4th. You see the resume of Greg Swindell.
How about that one? The 3rd one down is when it gets me. 14 shutouts in his college career. 501 strikeouts. That's in 3 seasons. 501 strikeouts. That's an incredible number. He did not let a lot of contact.
Up and in at the hands. I don't know that you would ever see another college pitcher with 14 shutouts in their career. I mean,
it's pretty incredible numbers. There's no question about that.
Off the end of the bat, foul. I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm sure you're probably not surprised by that, but the 1984 game against Cal State Fullerton and Augie Garrido, where Greg pitched, I think it was a second start in 3 days in what was a championship game. The full game is available on YouTube.
Wow, that's great.
Now, it's not in high definition.
Yeah, well, it's still available.
But still available.
I'm not sure they had television when I played there 3 times in a row and won a championship. If it was in black and white.
But just watching him pitch in that game, just a couple of innings. Another sharply hit ball off of the second baseman Ford, and Workington is a leadoff base runner here in the 8th inning.
He hit this ball right on the button. Ford getting more comfortable, going to his left. He was doing the right thing. He gave ground. Watch him give ground here, knowing he had to get to it, give some ground, get behind the arc. It just took his eye off of it and came over the top of his glove.
5th error of the season for Lance Ford. Luke Stevenson has walked twice and singled. First start of the series, now 6 hits on the season. Fastball strike, it's 0-1.
So far, so good for Whalen, though, in his second inning of attacking the strike zone. Longhorn bullpen last night had good first innings. Came back in their second inning. Everybody struggled to command the zone.
Line shot foul down the third base line. Not foul by much.
That could have changed the inning. Just hooking right there. About 6 or 7 inches foul.
Ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. Fastball catches the outside corner. And Matt Whalen picks up his second strikeout.
It looks about 95, even though it's just around 90 miles an hour because of the changeup and the off speed. It's by you. You cannot look for one and hit the other. That's what rhythm and timing does when you have a great changeup. We're going to have a pinch hitter.
So Andrew Sexton, for the second straight night, will be pinch hit for by Luke Franzoni. And Franzoni came on last night and pinch hit, struck out in the 7th inning, and got 3 at-bats. 1-0 for 3, and struck out in 2 of those 3 at-bats. And looks at a strike from Matt Whalen. Series finale tomorrow. Texas A&M on Tuesday for the Longhorns. A 6:30 start time. Game has already been sold out. It's been sold out for a few weeks. 2 strikes on Franzoni.
Just great command right now. Matt's done an outstanding job. I mean, at this point in the year, he's got a whip of less than 1. I mean, that means he's allowing less than 1 base runner per innings pitched, and a batting average against of 179. Upset at himself right there for missing the spot.
Workington at first base. That one sharply the opposite way. Went as an error on the second baseman, Lance Ford.
Matt's got him set up for that pitch he's been working on, his little breaking ball to the right-handed hitter right here. If he can make it look like a strike, Steve, start it out on the outer half, make it look like a strike, and break it out of the zone, I think he can get the strikeout right here. There, just missed. It just didn't make it look like a strike. If it's close enough, it starts out too far away that as you as a hitter, you take it because it's away from me. But if you make it start out in the zone, you're going to swing at that pitch right there. That's just getting more accustomed to throwing the pitch.
Stays 2-2 on the pinch hitter, Luke Franzoni. Franzoni from Robbinsville, New Jersey, Princeton Day School. Last night 0 for 3, as I mentioned, and that snapped a 5-game hit streak where he had 10 runs batted in over that 5-game stretch. Battle continues.
He's putting on a good at bat. It's hard to be a pinch hitter, hardest job in the world. You can see that number right there. That's Musketeers have done a lot of good things offensively, just have not been able to get that hit when they've needed it, and that runner in scoring position.
Xavier running the first and running the fourth, led 2-0 going to the bottom half of the fifth. Texas 5 runs across against Lanu, the Xavier starter. Called strike 3.
Pulled a string with a changeup. Dynamite pitch right here. Just reaches back. You can see the straight change in a great location. Way out in front, committed. The ball hadn't got there yet. Catches the corner.
He's thrown a couple of changeups now in lengthy at bats to right-handed batters. Given back to the top of the Musketeer lineup. Reached on a 2-base error by the right fielder Shaw on an adventurous pop-up in the 6th inning.
Texas has done a really good job against a good hitter. Gibbon has had very little production in this series. He's been brilliant at shortstop. 0 for 4 in this one. He came into this series hitting .350 on the year.
Averages dip below .340. Fastball misses off the corner. Altenberger next if Gibbon can keep the inning going. Can't try to bring that one back.
Well, you got a challenge here.
Whalen's talking to himself a little bit.
Yeah. Can't change anything. Got to challenge again.
Fly ball down the right field line. Shaw will watch this one land up in the seats.
Bullpen is up and starting to stir for Texas. Guys are tossing with their jacket. That's how cool it is.
Mateo Boki was all bundled up during batting practice.
I think we've gone by the expression cool. I think we go to cold now.
Soon you may add ice cold in front of that. Not a beverage. 3-2, 2 outs. Runner off from first. Hit on the ground. Diving stop by Reynolds. Gets to his feet and throws out Gibbon to end the inning. Ryan Reynolds with a fine play against a Xavier shortstop who's made fine plays throughout the course of this series. Texas by 3. Longhorns trailed 2-0 going to the bottom half of the 5th inning. That's when they got going. Tate Shaw, RBI base hit. Error by the pitcher on the throw to third. Bertelsen came in to score. And that tied the game at 2 as Shaw went all the way around to third base. Then Ryan Reynolds came through in a big way.
Opposite field. This is a big extra base hit. Texas has not had many. Only 2 in this series, but that was a big one. Drove in 2 runs, separated the game. It was a 3-2 ball game at that point, made it 5-2. And Ryan Reynolds makes a great play, has a big hit in this game, and all of a sudden Texas trying to add some insurance to a 5-2 lead.
I'm finally going to bring it up. The entire 1985 season.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Wrong season. 1984. How many day games from Wrigley did I watch on WOR-TV in New York? Mets, Cubs. Didn't matter who it was. It'd be a great play. Denier, you, didn't matter. Lead off Jody Davis, throw a runner out. Let off the home inning. Home run, double, get things going. That still sticks out all these years later.
Well, I can tell you that I don't know, something about playing the Mets. My career numbers were pretty good. So were ours in Chicago at the time. Now, a couple years later, they got our number and took home the cash.
84 against your Cubs. Fly ball. Reynolds to left field. Major started back, now coming in. Makes the grab, 1 down. Mets and Cardinals in 85, and like you said, 86. Everything kind of came together. But you know, on a night like tonight, windy night, during your days in Chicago, all those day games.
Well, in the summertime,
if
you had wind in the summertime, it was going out of the Southwest, and pitchers didn't like it and hitters loved it. But I did the whole month of April and May and most of September, it was coming off of Lake Michigan and at about this speed that we have tonight.
Zach Zubia 1 for 3 with a double. Zwak in his 3rd inning in relief, and again,
I agree with you. He's done exactly what they wanted. Shows what you can do. And he's saying, hey, I want the ball to come out of the bullpen, and he's just attacked the strike zone. He had really struggled with walks. You know, he'd walk 15 in 26, 25, 26 innings. But he's come in here and he's attacked the strike zone with good stuff.
And Flam, 82 pitches last night, 4+ innings out of the bullpen. Surrendered the lead in the 10th and was charged with the runs in the 12th inning. Still, the Xavier bullpen for the series finale tomorrow, they've got plenty of options.
They do, and as Coach O'Connor told us, is, you know, we have some guys that there's no question we haven't been able to command the strike zone well enough. Our stuff's good enough. We have guys that have stuff to compete and win with, but just haven't been able to get it consistently in the strike zone. And right now, what we've seen, this young man, he's been in the strike zone tonight.
Three-run lead for the Longhorns here in the 8th inning. Count 2-2. Texas winning 3 of 4 against Purdue here at the Dish early on in the season. Swept 3 straight against LSU. 1, 2 of 3 against Texas Tech. Split against Arkansas. Three-ball, 2-strike count.
First time I've seen him overthrow the breaking ball that time. It was like, I'm going to drop it on his back foot. I'm going to force it in there. Never was a strike. Zubia laid off of it.
Ball 4 goes to the backstop. Zubia will trot down to first base.
Could have a pinch runner here. I'm not sure Coach Pierce makes that move, but that could be something that's coming.
Zubia is at first, looking towards the dugout.
Maybe waiting till he gets to second base before they make that pinch running move. But I think they're going to make it now. I would be surprised if they didn't.
Mason Hibbler.
Not going to do it.
I think Hibbler was anticipating a move as well at first, and Mason 1 out of 3 with an infield base hit. Got things going in the 5-run 5th inning.
We will have it now. I thought that this would more than likely Zach's last at bat, and Cameron Fields will come on to pinch run.
Nick, left-handed, has the ability, to keep you close, but not quick to the plate. He's a big man. It takes a little while for him to unwind. He's probably 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 to home, but being left-handed still gives you the opportunity to keep a guy close because not sure what type of move he has.
Cameron was in the starting lineup last night and went 0 for 3 at the plate. Also worked in relief. Hibbler takes ball 1, throw down to first base, safe. Stevenson and a pick off the runner. Texas 8 hits in the ball game so far. Zwak delivers a strike. Off the corner, and it's 2-1. Lanu, the starter, went 5 innings, 5 runs on 7 hits. He struck out 2, did not walk a batter. Zwak to Hibbler. That one missing down low, and he falls behind 3-1.
Yeah, he has struggled in this inning to get any of his off-speed pitch anywhere close. I mean, where they have good delivery, but they're not close enough as a hitter that you're going to offer at him because they're out of his hand. It's out of the strike zone.
Picks up a strike and runs the count full.
I would think that Fields will be off with this pitch here.
3-2 count, 1 out in the inning. Fields pinch running for Zach Zubia, who reached with a 1-out walk. He's going, the pitch, ball 4. And that puts runners at first and second. So Zwak now finds himself in a jam that's been from his own doing. Fields now at second base and in scoring position. Lance Ford 0 for 3. Entered on a 6-game hit streak. He's grounded out twice and lined to center. Ford now at the plate. 3 straight left-handed batters. Ford, Bertelson due up next, and then Shaw.
Should have the advantage here, but when you miss and pitch from behind, it negates the lefty-lefty matchup. Got to pitch from ahead in that scenario. Sure makes it much more effective.
And behind now, 2 balls and no strikes. And now we'll have a visit from pitching coach Brian Furlong.
And that's what you go out here and say, look, their lineup, unless they use a pinch hitters, left-handers here, you've got to attack, and attack means strike 1, because once you get ahead, then the left-handed hitter now he's going to become more aggressive, and you don't have to have as many pitches in the strike zone. But if you miss, and all of a sudden you're 2-0, your matchup being left-handed is negated, because all of a sudden left-handers, no fastballs coming, they're going to get the barrel to the bat, or the barrel to the ball, excuse me.
Swak gathers himself on the backside of the mound as Ford steps back in from the left side. And he's behind 3-0. You're the runner at second when they're not flashing the signals and they're going to the chest protector, the mask, and the knees. Are you able to pick up anything?
Well, you can start guessing, say, well, does that mean fastball, or that would have to be something that you would have to try to figure out if somebody, if it was first touch, last touch.
Ford walks on 4 straight, and that loads up the bases with 3 straight walks in the inning.
We could have a pinch hitter, and we will. It'll be Austin Todd. Chance to separate the game. Tate Shaw will move into first base, and Austin will play in right in the 9th. Austin's had some struggles as of late, trying to get it back going. Had a great month of February.
An 0 for 5 in the series opener last night. He has 8 extra base hits and 26 driven in. 6th time he's come to the plate this season with the bases loaded. He has 3 hits. Fields, Hibbler, and Ford, the 3 base runners. And he's now thrown 6 in a row outside the strike zone to the last 2 hitters. He's walked 3 straight in the inning.
Left-hander up and starting to toss. Musketeer bullpen.
Picks up a strike. Swak has really slowed things down here, and that's really the MO of any reliever these days. Get runners on base, and really things slow down to a crawl. Big cut there. Austin Todd comes up empty.
Trevor Olson up and tossing for the Musketeers.
Gave up the game-winning base hit last night to Duke Ellis in the bottom of the 12th inning. Entered in a real dicey situation. Late swing and a miss. Austin Todd out on strikes. 2nd out of the inning.
Cut right there. He's cut it in on the hands. That fastball. Got it by him.
Tate Shaw has 3 base hits, an RBI, and a run scored.
And this is where Tate has probably been his most effective with runners in scoring position. 17 RBIs, and he has about half the number at bats of the regulars in this Texas lineup. He's been really good in this environment with runners in scoring position.
Longhorns trying to add to a 3-run lead here in the 8th inning. Shaw 1 base hit and 3 at bats this season with the bases full. late and down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
Now he's got a lot of options. You can go to the slider here. You see the numbers for Texas with runners in scoring position in the series.
Swak continues to stare in, has the sign he wants. Off the glove of the catcher. Here comes the runner. Fields from third. He'll slide in safely. And the Longhorns able to tag on here in the 8th.
Breaking ball just got away to the outside. I would call that a pass ball. It was one that it was in the air. You got to catch it. Didn't get it done. Leads to a run.
Hebler to third. Ford now at second. In the dirt, smothered by the catcher Stevenson. Swak the payoff pitch. Straightaway center field. Franzoni is there. Side retired. Longhorns with a run. Strand 2. We go to the 9th. 6-2 ball game. Longhorns 3 outs away from taking the first 2 of this series.
The next
Texas Baseball on Longhorn Network is brought to you by Whataburger, the one-of-a-kind honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, served hot and fresh, only at Whataburger.
Top of the 9th inning. Matt Whalen, 2 scoreless so far, asked to get the final 3 outs.
Austin Todd remains in the game in right field. Tate Shaw will move over from right field to first base. And as you mentioned, Matt Whalen out. He's trying to earn a 3-inning save right here. If he can get 3 outs, he's done a nice job. Just coming out of the bullpen.
Ryan Altenberger, a double and 3 official at bats. Doubled and scored in the first, walked, and was left stranded in the 4th inning. David Pierce. I'm sure if we brought the number up, you may not bring the number up. If I brought the number up, your 100th victory as the head coach of the Texas Longhorns, he'd probably dismiss it, but that's a milestone.
Well, it's definitely a milestone. He's done an outstanding job since taking over. Closing in on 300, I believe, overall.
You got it. 296 and 167.
Now that'll drive you crazy. Matt Whalen has been nothing but spectacular since coming into the game, and 4-pitch walk to start an inning when you're 3 outs away from the victory. See if he can, and he's got the tough part of the order here too. 2, 3, 4 were due.
Gramis, RBI ground out in the first, 0 for 3. Did walk in the 3rd inning. And the scheduled starter for Xavier for the series finale tomorrow at noon Central. Gramis, his first base hit of the ball game, and the first 2 have reached here in the 9th inning. And Xavier will bring the tying run to the on-deck circle, and that run in the bottom of the 8th looking big right now.
Yeah, I played for a man, and you've heard me say this before, Steve. Here, Cliff Gustafson won 1,492 games here at the University of Texas, and he always said the hardest outs to get are 25, 26, and 27. And going to have to go to the bullpen right here to see if somebody else can get that done.
Whalen giving up a walk and a single, hands the baseball over to David Pierce. 6-2 Texas here in the 9th. David Pierce taking the baseball from Matt Whalen, and Mateo Boki enters with nobody out, 2 on here in the 9th.
Now you look at Mateo making his 9th appearance. Arm slot change. He still has the good velocity, a good hard breaking ball. If there's one number that for Mateo that he would still like to change a little bit, maybe is those 7 walks and 15 innings of work. But he's really done an outstanding job of adapting to the different arm slot than he had as a junior. And he comes on here. Hey, you've got a 4-run lead, but there's 2 guys on, nobody out in the inning. It's going to be hard to hit a ball out of this ballpark tonight, but you got to attack the zone right here and limit the base runners.
Was strong Tuesday at Incarnate World, went 4 1/3.
Really did an outstanding job. You see that Italian flag on his glove. From Parma, Italy. I bet he's got some good Parmesan cheese.
You guys are always talking about it.
You know he does. He's got to have some good stuff.
Aubrey Major will be the first batter that he faces here with 2 runners on base. So Boki in relief here in the 9th inning. Does not have a save to his record so far this year. The tying run in the on-deck circle. Major at the plate. 1 base hit and 4 at-bats.
He's got good speed, tough to double up.
And takes ball 1 to start the at-bat. Blair Henley in line for the victory if the bullpen can hold on here in the 9th inning. He gave up 2 runs over 6 innings. Ground ball up the middle into center field. Rounding third is Altenberger. He'll come in to score just ahead of the tag. And the throw from center field. And Major may have done something to that hamstring. It's a cold night. They may have to pinch run for him here. Was grimacing just a little bit as we picked him up, and I think was holding the back of that left hamstring.
He's trying to stay on, stretch it out right here. You see him trying to get it, not feeling good going down that line. You can tell he was, but he's going to just not running very good. Right here, you can see, oh, right there, he just just took it off. He's going to stay in the game. Tying run, though, now at the plate for the Musketeers.
First 3 batters have reached here in the 9th inning. Run charge to Whalen. He's still responsible for Gramis out at second base. Hausinger 0 for 4, struck out 3 times in the game. Run in the 8th inning looking awfully big right now for the Longhorns. Chopper towards third and foul. Xavier last night, 2 runs in the 8th inning. Scored a run in the 10th to take a 1-run lead. Texas answered in the bottom half of the 10th inning. RBI base hit by Duke Ellis.
Took a 2-run lead in the 12th.
Got 2 in the 12th. Took a 2-run lead that they could not hold on to in the bottom of the 12th inning. Foul tip in and out of the glove of the catcher, Brian McCann.
Can't practice that. So many people ask me, says, you know, foul tip, they don't hold on to it. You can't practice it. There's no way to practice a foul tip. It either sticks in your glove or it doesn't.
Major an RBI base hit here in the 9th inning to make it a 3-run ball game. And last night, 8th inning, 2 runs for Xavier. A hit by pitch with the bases loaded and a sacrifice fly. The run in the 10th inning scored on a wild pitch. And Shepsky a 2-run base hit that did not leave the infield in the 12th. Boki delivers the 1-2 way inside, and Boki falls down. Looking at the landing spot on the mound, McCann will go out. That left foot sort of buckled on him.
It did. He got it. It hit in the in between. You've had quite a few pitchers on the mound, so the land area for your front foot sometimes gets off track, and that one you could tell he got off track and just slid forward and lost his balance.
Hausinger to left center field. Kennedy coming on. It's going to fall in for a base hit. Ramos will stop at third, and the bases are loaded, and the first 4 batters have reached in the inning.
Now this really changes the complexion here. It's activity again up in the Texas bullpen. Now the tying run has reached base. Still nobody out in the inning here in the 9th. And Shepsky, Mason Bryant, freshman right-hander from here in Austin, up and getting loose.
Shepsky, 2 more hits tonight, 5 for the series. And takes strike 1 from Bokey. A walk, 3 straight singles. Tying run on base here in the 9th inning for the Musketeers.
Texas in double play depth. They would exchange obviously the run for a pair, but even a ground ball that they get 1, they'll stay back.
Way inside, 2 ball, 1 strike count.
This is a gigantic pitch. If you're a Longhorn fan right here, you do not want to go 3-1. Right-handed hitter awaiting on deck is a guy that can leave the ballpark, even though it's a next to impossible night to hit one out of here.
Pulled on the ground through the right side. 1 run is in. Major will stop at third. The throw from Todd is cut off. 4 straight hits and 5 straight batters have reached.
Now the tying run is in scoring position.
And Matt Workington has hit the ball well on each of his last 3 at bats. 2 for 4 in the ball game with a run scored.
Close the book on Matt Whalen now.
2+ innings, 2 runs allowed. A leadoff walk here in the 9th inning. Then he gave up the single to Gramis and was lifted. A 2-run ball game. Still nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-1.
And that arm slide, if he can come back with a good slider here, I'd get a ground ball.
Aubrey Major, the lead runner at third. Hausinger at second. First base side. Shaw runs out of room.
That ball started out in fair territory. Blew 40 feet out of play. Came back with the fastball there. Now it's a great time to get the strikeout if you're Bokey. On the other side, got to put it in play.
Workington spoils that one and stays alive.
Yeah, it didn't have much bite to it. It was more of a one that was sweeping across the plate. It didn't have any depth to it to get him to swing over the top of it.
Xavier now 11 hits for the ball game. Bokey with the 1-2. Workington stays alive.
He's got good plate coverage. He gets great extension. Doing a nice job just keeping the at-bats alive.
McCann sending out the signs. Bokey has the one he wants. Sharply hit towards second. They go to second one. Back to first. Double play. Run comes across. But as you said, Longhorns will take it in that situation to get 2 for 1.
No doubt. Now the tying run 90 feet away right now. And if you're Michael McCann, you've got to be a wall behind the plate, because there's the tying run right there, standing 90 feet away.
Major scores on the 4-6-3 double play. No RBI for Workington. Luke Stevenson at the plate. 1 for 2, a single, 2 walks.
Starts him out with a breaking ball. It almost hits him. A good hitters count here. Ranzoni, the pinch hitter last inning, is in the on-deck circle here. 2-0 count. Good hitters count.
Longhorns need 1 more out. 3 ball, no strike count on Luke Stevenson.
No green light here.
Bokey entered in relief of Whalen, gave up 3 straight singles. 3-0, picks up the corner. Won the battle against Workington, got him to head into a double play. Three and 2.
Well, he got a great sink on that fastball that time. Started out middle in, got him to swing over the top of it.
Longhorns 1 strike away from taking the first 2 games of this series. 3 ball, 2 strike count, 2 outs. Bokey to Stevenson. On the ground to shortstop. Hibbler to first, and that's the ball game. Xavier leaves the potential tying run at third, and the Longhorns have taken the first 2 games of this series. They hold on for the 1-run win.
I got to tell you that it wasn't easy, but got the job done at the end. Mateo Bokey came on, got some base hits, but made 3 good pitches when he needed to. Got the double play ball, and then made an excellent pitch there, 3-2. Longhorns come away with a 6-5 victory.
Blair Henley earns the win, his 4th on the season, gave up 2 runs over 6 innings. Texas 5 in the 5th inning, adding 1 in the 8th inning, proved to be a big one, and a 1-run victory. And their 8th 1-run win on the season. They have taken the first 2 games of the series. A look for the series sweep on Sunday with Coy Cobb getting the start in the finale.
Yeah, you look at it, bullpen probably will be more available tomorrow for Texas. At 2 disappointing losses for the Musketeers.
Longhorns pick up the victory 6-5 tonight against the Xavier Musketeers. Final game of this 3-game series Sunday. Xavier, Texas, noon central right here on LHN. For Keith Moreland, I'm Steve Lennox. We say so long and good night from Disch-Falk Field.